me unto the Almighty God, Jah Rastafari. Praises be unto the Almighty Himself.
Welcome to Jamaica Worldwide. Today we are counting down 10 sudden and tragic deaths in reggae and dancehall.
Yellow tape. Forensic report.
Over the years, Jamaica's entertainment industry has been marred with the sudden and tragic deaths of some of its industry leaders. We are looking at people in the reggae and dancehall industry who died in sudden and tragic circumstances. This list will not include those who have died from illness or natural causes.
I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life, forever.
Also, see which artist people are still uncertain of the cause of death, even today. Anyway, people, before we get into it, give this video a like. And also, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be aware of when we post new videos. Number 10, Patrick Samuels, aka Roach.
For you hear a bad rhythm, you know a bad rhythm. And you know a rhythm we can't take the market. We say we need that one. That's the thing we are going to shop. We have the ears.
Roach was a former manager of the incarcerated dancehall star Vybz Kartel. One of his most notable production is Emergency by Vybz Kartel, but he also had other successes with other projects, such as the Overproof Rhythm. Roach was reportedly shot multiple times at approximately 4 a.m. in the morning in the vicinity of a gas station at Mary Brown's Corner in St. Andrew. Sources with the police say that Patrick had tried to escape in his Chevrolet Avalanche. However, he had lost control and crashed on Mannings Hill Road. Number 9. General Echo. Earl Anthony Robinson, better known as General Echo, aka Rankin Slackness, was one of the first reggae DJs to move away from cultural lyrics towards what is known as slackness, which is risque or sexually explicit lyrics. It was one night that Echo was shot by police in Kingston, Jamaica in 1980, along with Selector Flux, who also worked on his Echotone sound system, and Stereophonic owner Leon Big John Johns, after they had stopped the car that they were traveling in. The incident has never been satisfactorily explained, but it is understood that he had succumbed to his bullet wounds. However, this is not the artist that people are still today unsure about his cause of death. Number 8, J. Capri.
I see myself as an international artist because, honestly speaking, I knew nothing really about dancehall growing up. I did just love how it sounded, and I was in love with Patra and Lady Saw back in the day because they took it to that international level.
Jordan Phillips, aka J. Capri, was a promising young performer and, close to her passing, had 2 massive hit songs in the dancehall space. She was reportedly in a car crash in November of 2015. She was traveling in the Barbican area about 3 a.m. when the car she was driving was seen to have collided into a wall. Phillips was rushed to the University Hospital of West Indies. She was in an induced coma for a while, and there was even a public appeal for people to donate blood on her behalf. She, however, lost her life soon after. She was 23 years old. Number 7, Merciless. In 2022, many dancehall fans were shocked when news circulated of the passing of Merciless, whose real name is Leonard Bartley. Merciless, who is from Clarendon, was known for numerous dancehall hits such as Let Them Have It, The Letter, Mavis, Girl Dem Gizada, and many others. His most noteworthy performance is, however, his Sting 2000 performance, where he is widely considered the winner in a clash against the likes of Ninja Man, Bounty Killer, and Beanie Man. In 2022, the 51-year-old Merciless was found unresponsive in a corporate-era guest house on Walker's Avenue.
I'm still right here with my people in Jamaica in dancehall.
Number 6, Garnet Silk.
You see, I'm here to teach and comfort people.
Born Garnet Damian Smith, 2nd of April 1966, Garnet Silk was known for his emotive, powerful, and smooth voice. During the early 90s, he was hailed as a rising talent. However, his career was ended by his early death in 1994. At the time of his death, he was just signed to a major label. And having just recorded about 10 songs for his new album, he went home to visit his mother. Silk had borrowed a pair of guns from his attorney after his home had been burglarized, but he had no idea how to use them. Sitting with a couple of friends at his mother's house in Mandeville, Jamaica on December 9th, one offered to show him how it worked, and at some point, the gun misfired. Shotgun pellets hit a 25-pound gas cylinder in the house near the town of Mandeville, causing the blast and subsequent fire to the entire house. It is said that Garnet was safely out of the house and then realized that his mother was still inside and went inside to attempt saving his mother. However, unfortunately, they had both perished in the blaze. 3 others were injured at this time. Garnet Silk was 28 years old.
I'm gonna say, music is the rod and we are Moses, leading God's children to the promised land.
Number 5, Tenor Saw.
How old are you?
19.
You're 19, and your voice is really strong, because I expected somebody older. I expected somebody around about 30.
Yeah, everybody will say me first. Them always say that. So my voice older than me, my voice bigger than me, but you know, I just have a mature tone, you know what I mean?
Tenor Saw was one of the youngest rising stars in dancehall at the time. It was in 1985 that Tenor Saw would get his first big hit with the song Pumpkin Belly on the Slang Tang rhythm. That same year, he would record arguably his biggest hit, Ring the Alarm, on the Stalag 17 rhythm. Tenor Saw was in demand and riding high on the success of his recent releases. America Was Calling and Saw answered. His success would, however, be short-lived, as in August 1988, he was killed by a motor vehicle in Houston, Texas, with the official cause of death determined as a case of hit-and-run accident. However, other sources insist that he was murdered. He died at the age of 21 years old. Strangely, on October 26, 1988, the local newspaper, that is Jamaica Gleaner, in Jamaica reported that Saw had been shot and killed in New York City. By this time, Tenor Saw would have been dead for about 2 months. Over the years, many rumors have circulated as to the cause of Saw's death. The most popular is that he was a victim of a hit-and-run driver. Others believe he was swindled and then murdered. Some say he was involved in drugs and that his murder was drug-related. There are those who think he owed the wrong people money for a show and was killed because he took the advance but never performed. Another story said he was murdered by promoters who didn't want to pay him for a show. Probably the saddest and most cautious rumor is that he was killed by his friends and his show money was stolen. Due to the mix-up in reported cases, even to this day, his family are not sure of the circumstances which surrounded his death in 1988.
I like how Jamaican girl them dancing.
Number 4, Gerald Levy, aka Bogle.
So you them, look at them. The rarest kind. That's a black roses, yeah? All them need a water. I would just have blooms.
Gerald Levy, better known as Bogle, and also Bogle the Dancer, Mr. Bogle, Father Bogle, Mr. Wacky, was a Jamaican dancehall star and choreographer. Beanman hailed him as the greatest dancer of all time, and he is recognized as part of the foundation and as an icon of dancehall culture. Many dancers credit him as their influence and role model for their own career.
Him hold it up for it. Him make people respect we as dancer right now in the world, trust me.
He created many dance moves, best known also for his own dance, the Bogle dance. However, on the night of January 20, 2005, after getting into an altercation with Beenie Man and his entourage, Bogle and 4 others were in his car at a gas station when 2 men on a bicycle rode by, shooting into the vehicle. The passengers were rushed to Kingston Public Hospital, where the 40-year-old Bogle was pronounced dead. Of course, there were speculations about Beenie Man's involvement, but his name was cleared eventually, and Beenie Man himself offered a $1 million reward for the capture of the killers. The home of John Hype, who was considered a creative rival, was also burnt to the ground just hours later in the wake of Bogle's murder. Number 3, Jacob Miller.
Well, yeah. But it's the work of His Majesty for go along, you know.
Jacob Miller was another promising young artist. He was a Jamaican reggae artist and Rastafarian from Mandeville in Jamaica. He was also the lead singer of the band Inner Circle. Miller was also featured in the film Rockers alongside many other musicians including Gregory Isaacs, Big Youth, and Burning Spear. In March of 1980, Jacob Miller went with Bob Marley and Island Records co-founder Chris Blackwell to Brazil to celebrate Island opening new offices in South America. Not long after returning to Jamaica, on Sunday the 23rd of March 1980, Miller and one of his sons died in a car accident on Hope Road in Kingston. Jacob Miller and Inner Circle had been preparing for an American tour with Bob Marley and Wailers, and the next album, Mix Up Moods, was already recorded. Second up, Tabby Diamonds of the Mighty Diamonds.
To say, you know, say, I the group Diamond, man. I just come same time and tell them, say, Diamond, the mother say, you know, and then I get. And so it's there.
So where the Mighty come from?
Channel 1.
The Mighty Diamonds were a Jamaican harmony trio, recording roots reggae with a strong Rastafarian influence. Formed in 1969 in the Trenchtown area of Kingston, the group comprised of lead vocalist Donald Tabby Shaw, harmony vocalist Fitzroy Bunny Simpson, and Lloyd Judge Ferguson. They had become friends at school in the mid-1960s and were originally called the Limelight, adopting Mighty Diamonds after Shaw's mother started referring to them as the Diamonds. With 53 years under their belt, they were the longest running group with all its original members. This, however, came to an end very abruptly in 2022 on March 29, when the life of lead singer Donald Tabby Shaw was unfortunately cut short in a brazen drive-by shooting. Unfortunately, 3 days later on April 1st, 2022, Fitzroy Bunny Simpson, who was battling sickness at the time of Tabby's death, sadly died shortly after he heard the news. Before we continue to number 1, kindly take the time to ensure that you are subscribed to the channel and also hit the like button and hit the notification bell to ensure that you receive videos as soon as they are released. Number 1, Peter Tosh.
It's not where you are, it's who you are to get the inspiration, because if the mind is pure, inspiration comes anywhere.
Peter Tosh, a former founding member of the world-renowned group The Wailers, had by this time embarked on his solo career. On September 11, 1987, just after Tosh had returned to his home in Jamaica, a 3-man gang came to his house on motorcycles demanding money. Tosh replied that he did not have any with him, and they did not believe him. They stayed at his residence for several hours and tortured Tosh in an attempt to extort money from him. Over the hours, as various associates of Tosh arrived to visit him, they were also taken hostage by the gunmen. The gunmen became more and more frustrated, especially chief of them, Dennis Lepo Laban. a man who Peter Tosh had previously befriended and helped to find work after a long jail sentence. Tosh said he did not have any money in the house, after which Laban and his fellow gunmen began opening fire in a reckless manner. Tosh was shot twice in the head and killed. Herbalist Wilson, that's Doc Brown, and disc jockey Jeff Free-Eye Dixon also died as a result of wounds sustained during the robbery. Several others in the house were wounded, including Tosh's common-law wife, Marlene Brown, Free-Eye's wife, Yvonne, Tosh's drummer, Carlton Santa Davis, and musician Michael Robinson. According to Police Commissioner Herman Ricketts, Dennis surrendered and 2 other men were interrogated but not publicly named. Laban went on to plead innocent during his trial, telling the court he had been drinking with friends. The trial was held in a closed court due to the involvement of illegal firearms. Laban was ultimately found guilty by a jury of 8 women and 4 men and sentenced to death by hanging. However, his sentence was commuted in 1995. Is there anyone you think should be on this list? Let us know in the comments. Also, please remember to subscribe and hit the like button. This is Jamaica Worldwide.